Settling in Illinois. Okay, this is President Lincoln's first home in Illinois. And it says, a cabin 16 by 16 feet square was built by Thomas Abraham, John Johnston, Dennis Hanks, John Hanks, and Squire Hall of the logs that John Hanks had originally cut. The men hewed the logs with both axe and broadaxe. The doors and floor were made of rough logs, smoothed flat on one side. In addition to the cabin, some sources claim that a smokehouse and barn were also built. Interestingly, the Lincolns did not live on the land long enough to own it. It was not bought until 1836 by Perry Strickland. This is the site of the first home that Abraham Lincoln lived in when he first settled in Illinois. The site was originally selected by Lincoln's second cousin, John Hanks, in 1829. Hanks had felled and cut logs to build a cabin, but then decided to leave. Hanks continued to write to Thomas Lincoln, hoping to convince him to move from Indiana to Illinois. Hanks eventually received word from the Lincolns confirming the move to Illinois. Once the family, consisting of Thomas and Sarah Bush Johnston, Lincoln, Abraham, his stepbrother John Johnston, 9 other relatives and in-laws arrived, John Hanks led them here. Thomas, Sarah, John, and Abraham lived here during 1830, even though Abraham spent much of his time away as a hired farm laborer. Sickness and the winter of the deep snow caused the Lincoln family to leave after only 1 year at the site. With his father and stepmothers moving, this is where Abraham Lincoln finally struck out on his own, buying a canoe and floating down the Sangamon River to his future at New Salem. During Abraham Lincoln's lifetime, the cabin had many uses, including that of a schoolhouse. It was at this cabin that John Hanks and Richard Oglesby came to collect the two fence rails that would be used to great effect at the 1860 Illinois Republican State Convention in Decatur. This convention is where Hanks helped carry in the rails that proclaimed Abraham Lincoln as the rail splitter candidate, a nickname that is known to this day. After President Lincoln's death in 1865, John and Dennis Hanks came out to the site and carefully took down the cabin, numbering the logs, exhibiting it all over the country. It supposedly was sold to an English group, but was lost while crossing the Atlantic.